Sack Life beat depression. It's day 866, and we're back with another fix of somatic healing sessions to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, anybody who's tuned in now, anybody who is tuning in later. Appreciate you guys and girls out there for showing up for both yourself and for others to support the cause and to get in your daily dose of self-care publicly. It's one of the best ways we can help inspire one another is by showing it up publicly and sharing those tools that work for us. We can help other people find the tools that work for them as well. And speaking of tools, we start every single show with that powerful mental health tool of gratitude. The more we use it, the more powerful it becomes. So I'm going to start my gratitude section today with Lisa the Luminary. First one in here. I appreciate you, Lisa. Thank you so much for tuning in and for being consistent. Also want to shout out gratitude to the Hope to Courage movement. We are on day 5 of the 21 days of gratitude movement. So we've been moving back to basics here, giving everybody a fully accessible lesson that will empower you guys over the next 21 days, well, the next remaining 15 days or 16 days. Math is off right now. In the next couple of days, we'll empower you with multiple tools. Every single day, we're going to be adding new tools, new striking patterns into your arsenal to get that somatic release of frustration, anxiety, anger, fear, depression, all of those things you can process and physically release through training on that heavy bag, that somatic healing tool. So if you missed the first couple lessons, make sure you go back. They're on the IGTV page. They're also available on YouTube on the channel Sack Life Daily. But you can pick up there and beat depression at your own discretion, empower yourself with multiple tools, and catch up to the lesson plan that we've got going on today. Like I said, today is day 5 of that Hope to Courage 21 Days of Gratitude movement. And still in my gratitude section today, there's a few more pieces of gratitude. I want to shout out gratitude to your bus, to John, for giving me a place to stay out here. Let me get back in touch with my bus, hit my bag, and life is good out here. It's a beautiful location. Saw some wildlife today. It's really awesome. Just unexpected surprises from nature. So super grateful for that. Also want to shout out gratitude to The Blend for supporting our cause by displaying our sticker. We've got those stickers out there. The QR code helps bring people to the show, helps bring people to the website where they can empower themselves with even more tools. Even if this isn't your thing, we've got multiple mental health tools on the website at sacklifeofficial.com, and those stickers with the QR codes will bring you right to this page where you can get access to this free training every single day. So I want to thank you and shout out gratitude to The Blend in Buena Vista out here for putting our sticker up. If you want to see the other businesses that have been supportive of our cause, that care about mental health, and we're supportive of them as well, check out the highlights section at the top of our page. There's a highlight that says Business We Support. We want to make it mutually beneficial for everybody. So take a look and see who cares in your area. And maybe, pass by. If you have an option of where to eat, maybe go somewhere that's helping us build this thing up and helping us build each other up. So gratitude going out to The Blend. That being said, that's going to end my gratitude section for today. Go ahead and think about your gratitude section with something or a couple of things that you're grateful for that'll help put you in that positive mindset as we move into today's lesson. Second mental health tool we talk about every single day is that progress tracking tool. It's day 866 of consecutive training, progress, and success for me, the Sack Man. Let me know how many days it's been for you. The more you keep track of that number, again, this is another tool that can build up over time into more self-esteem, self-validation, and self-confidence. And those are things that nothing can take away from you, not even the lies that depression tries to sell us, because we have physical proof, right? That's what that charting is, that progress tracking is all about. Giving yourself the physical proof of your strength and endurance so that you can give yourself the credit that you deserve instead of overlooking yourself or it being difficult to realize how much you've put in, how far you have come. So please do keep track of that number. I want to shout out gratitude as also to my mom. Love you, Ma. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. It is warm at the moment, but the sun's dropping, and as soon as it goes down, it's going to be ice cold. So we're going to try and move along through the lesson. Like I said, it is day 866. If you got a number out there, please do share it. It's a great way to inspire one another. Now, let's get into the lesson. We have shared so far the jab, the cross, the hook, the lead hook, the trail hook, and also level changes in our striking patterns. Today, we're going to do some body shots together. Not the alcoholic kind, but the somatic healing kind that you can use fist on the bag to get that physical release. And for me, when I was dealing with my darkest days and I was starting, the first time that I had started to feel that physical release, that somatic processing of trauma, stress, and anxiety through the bag, the body shots, those heavy body shots, are the ones that felt the best to me. Even before I knew what I was doing, before I had any martial arts training, tossing those shots in to that center mass and using your entire body to get that physical energy channeled in a healthy direction that builds you up was an incredible feeling of release for me. So I hope you guys are feeling the same thing out there. Today we're going to break down those body shots, and you can use this technique in your shadow boxing. You can also use it on the heavy bag. It may not, we'll give you tips for sparring and tips for self-defense as well, but the focus is really on empowering you with tools you can use to get that physical, somatic release of anxiety, frustration, and stress on the heavy bag. So when we're equipping you with those body shots today, just keep that in mind. It's proper training so you don't injure yourself and so you can feel that physical release. Make sure, that being said, if you are going to hit the heavy bag, make sure you are wrapping up before you sack up. Make sure you're protecting those investments, protect those digits. These are delicate tools made for fine motor skills, and we want to protect them and protect those tools so that we can continue to use them for a long time. So make sure you're properly wrapping your hands if you are hitting the heavy bag. If you're shadow boxing, you don't need wraps. Obviously, all you need is to show up for yourself and get moving so that you can make that progress every single day. But if you want to feel that physical release, the one that saved my life, where it all started with that sack, go ahead and make sure you're wrapped up and protected. Also, gloves. Get yourself a good pair of gloves. Don't go for the cheapest ones. They won't offer the same wrist protection. They won't offer the same knuckle protection. You'll be doing yourself a disservice. If you're looking for a good pair of entry-level gloves, check out Century Martial Arts Drive series. They've got gel-padded gloves, a pretty reasonable price range. If you want to take a step up from there, the Pro series from Everlast is not too bad. So, and also not too expensive either. That being said, let's break down those body shots. Shout out to Slayer Ken. Thanks for being here, brother. Please do share your progress when you get a chance. Help inspire others. But let's break down those body shots. So we've already covered the jab, the cross, the hooks, and the level changes, right? Boom. Now we're going to cover those body shots. So for the body shots from our Muay Thai stance, if you're not familiar with the stance, go ahead and catch up. Those stance guides are on our page, on the main page at sacklifeofficial.com, also on the main page on Instagram. So from our Muay Thai stance, what we want to do is visualize that opponent in front of us. Visualize center mass. And what we're going to do here is we're going to put a little bit of bend in the knees. We're going to sink down just a little more. We're going to drop this hand. And now remember, this is for heavy bag training or shadow boxing, not ideal for sparring situation. But a little bit of bend in the knees. We're going to drop the hand down. We're going to bring that elbow down, locking it in again at 90 degrees, just like we do for the hook. Keeping the wrist nice and straight. Bring that fist down, palm facing up. Little sink in the knees here. And we're going to give it a little preload. We're going to turn and bring that fist back just a little bit. But visualize that opponent and kind of target, visualize a target at that center mass where you want to hit. Either the solar plexus or the gut or the liver shot or the kidney, whatever you're targeting here on your visualized opponent. Put a little preload in there, keeping the guard tight up front. And angling that fist, right? Turning the palm up. Then we're going to rotate on the ball of the rear foot, just like we do for the cross. Rotating through the hips and shoulders, but this time we're sunk, and we're going to send that fist forwards into that center mass. Always aiming to land on the large two knuckles, keeping the fist nice and tight, squeezing at the point of impact. Whoosh! We're turning through the body. The power's not coming from the arm. It's like 10% coming from the arm. Most of that power is coming from rotation through the body. So we want to make sure we're balanced in our Muay Thai stance, right? Visualize that opponent, guards high. We're going to preload it. Maybe put a little slip in there first. Keep the guard tight on the lead hand. Drop that fist down, bringing the elbow close to the hip here. We're firing from the hip. That's where that power is going to come from. And then we're rotating on the ball of the rear foot. Whoosh! And driving that fist forward. Visualize connecting with the large two knuckles right into center mass. And ideally you want to keep that elbow, again, at 90 degrees. When you send that fist out, if you're close enough to land those body shots, the ideal power to energy transfer output, I can't remember what the word is. The most efficient output, the way you're going to do the least work and get the best bang for buck, so to speak, is by having that elbow locked at 90 degrees and driving through the body, landing on those large two knuckles. Boom. Exhaling on impact, exhaling through the strike is going to channel even more energy through the abs and through the core and into that shot. But remember, it's all about the angles. It's all about that sweet science. So we want to really focus on form over power. Don't worry about the power. It's going to come with time. Be fluid, be balanced, be centered, and think about those body shots. So again, body shots a close range tool. You can extend further if you start to deal with different changing distances. We're not going to get into that today. We're just sticking with that close range body shot. So after you make contact with that rear body shot, we're going to bring the hand back up to defend the head, and you'll notice the shoulders are turned, right? Just like we do for the cross, shoulders and hips are turned. We're going to bring the hand back up to defend the head, dropping the other hand down, locking it in at 90 again, 90 degrees on the elbow, wrist nice and straight, palm facing up, nice closed tight fist, and we're going to roll through on the ball of the lead foot this time. So for the rear body shot, boom, we're turning on the ball of the rear foot. For the lead body shot, we're turning on the ball of the lead foot. Again, through the hips, through the shoulders, we're firing from the hips. That's where the power is going to come from. Focus on form, speed, over function. Don't worry about the power. It will come with time, the more efficient you become at using these tools. Slayer Ken shared his data as a 474. Good stuff, Ken. Thank you so much for staying consistent and being an inspiration out here. All right, that is it. Visualize your target. Make sure you assign it the name of the thing you're working on. If it's anxiety, make it an anxiety dummy. If it's depression, make it the depression dummy, and consciously acknowledge what we subconsciously do every day, which is knock out those effects of depression, that debilitation. You are, by a matter of fact, giving yourself proof you're stronger than that debilitating effects of depression and anxiety. All right, let's do it. 3 rounds, 3 minutes each, 1 minute breaks to catch your breath. And drink some water. I'm gonna start shadow boxing with you, and then I'm gonna move into hitting the bag and make sure I wear gloves and protect my investments at that time. Let's go. Pop into your Muay Thai stance. Visualize that opponent, and let's start with the 1-2s. Just get a little warmed up. Throw some 1-2s in there. Step forwards. Pop, pop, pop. We practice these first and second day. So you should still have those tools ready. Remember, turn those fists over on those straight shots. And you kind of move around with it. We're just warming up here. Keep it moving. If you're advanced, you can use any strikes that you'd like in your shadow boxing routine. Mix it up, keep it interesting. And we're going to start to break down those body shots. Visualize your opponent. Visualize them moving around. Keep them active. If you're a beginner, stay in your squared balance stance right here and just fire from that stance. Focus on form, right? And fluidity, smoothness. Keep it balanced. Small step in for the jabs. And rotate back. Keep the guard tight. Boom. Let's add in the cross. And back. And back. Remember to square those hips and shoulders after each combo. And now you notice with the jab, we're stepping forwards, bump, and then we're rotating through on the ball of the rear foot, through the hips and shoulders for the cross. That's the same rotation we're going to use for these body shots. So let's practice those body shots. Starting with the rear body shots, a little more natural. We're going to drop that hand down, elbow to the hip, lock that elbow in at 90 degrees, palm facing up. Keep the guard high in the lead, right? Little extra sink on the knees, and we're going to rotate on that rear foot, whoosh, and drive that fist forward. Really visualize making contact with the gut of that depression dummy. Landing on the large 2 knuckles on the fist, keep that palm facing upwards, then bring the fist back to the head to defend after you made contact, and we're going to drop the other hand down. Fire a lead body shot here. Elbow comes down to the waist, locking that arm in at 90 degrees. We're going to rotate on the ball of the front foot this time and drive that fist forward into the gut of that visualized depression dummy. Bring the fist back to the head, square up hips and shoulders, and that is your double body shot. Let's do it again. Double body shot here. And back. Double body shot. And back. Double body shot. And back. You can get a lot of energy out in a positive direction, even just shadow boxing, when you're using these body shots. Keep it moving, keep it flowing. Remember, make it yours, make it your own. Practice those moves that you need work on or that you have the most fun with, and drill at your intensity level. This is your self-care routine. You working for you today. Let's go. Keep it balanced and work those body shots in. Wuss. 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 Boom. You can really step in and sink. Boom. Sink in and then fire that. Bang. Fire that rear body shot. Nice and powerful. Into the guts of that depression dummy. That's the end of round one. Catch your breath. Drink some water. Make sure you're not pushing too hard. We don't want to see spots. We don't want to get dizzy or nauseous. Those are signs of overreaching. It means you got to dial it back. Otherwise, you can wind up with more anxiety or depression. Like all things, it's good to find the healthy balance in our practice, in our life. Find that balance in life. Just because this is a healthy tool to release anger, frustration, and stress, anxiety, and can alleviate mild to moderate symptoms of depression, doesn't mean that it can't become unhealthy if we take it to an extreme. We have to find the balance. We have to stay maintained, work smart, not too hard, make it a sustainable routine so you can continue to feel those benefits instead of taking it to an extreme and actually turning it into a vice, right? You can turn our tools into vices if we don't keep them in check and keep them balanced. All right, we're back in. Square up with your visualized target and work with those tools that we've used the last couple days. Start working in your level changes. Bam, bam. Remember, sink and fire straight for those level changes. And start working in those body shots. Rear hand, whoosh, and bring it back. Huss, huss. Rear hand, whoosh, and back. Sinking in, remember a little extra sink on the knees, drop the fist, rotate through the body. Power comes from rotation of the hip, bam, firing straight forward from the hip, driving those knuckles up, kind of up and in to the gut of that depression dummy. Back to stance, keep moving, keep working for you. You deserve what you give, so give it 100%. Let's go. Throw those body shots, lead body shot too. Bang, put a little preload on it, bam, bam. Fire some of those body shots in. Boom. 90-degree angle on the elbow. Driving through the hip. Rotating on the ball of the rear foot. Bring it back to defend the head. Drop the opposite hand. Clench the fist. Right there from the hip into the gut of that visualized target. Back to stance. Remember, those body shots are close range attacks. So if you're visualizing that dummy, you'll want to step in. Get close, right? Drop the fist, whoosh, rotate through and back to stance. If you're going to execute these moves in sparring, you're going to want to try and drop that fist at the last possible second. So you want to be close, up close, keeping the guard tight, preload, still guarded. And as you start to turn in to fire that tool, fire that weapon, we're going to drop the fist at the last possible second, achieving that 90-degree angle at the point of impact. So instead of this is bag technique here. We're going to drop the fist, whoosh, and drive it through. Instead of that, when you're working with sparring or sparring partner, you want to tighten up your defense. You want to preload and you want to turn. And as you're turning through the hip, you're going to drop, boom, and bring it back as quickly as possible, maintaining defense as much as possible in between those strikes. But for heavy bag practice, it doesn't matter. The bag doesn't hit back, right? So you can really let loose and get a good somatic release in there. Boom. Mix up those tools. Visualize that opponent and give yourself that somatic release that you deserve. Remember, sink into it and drive from the hip. Boom. Forwards, turning, rotating on the ball of the foot and firing straight into center mass. Boom. That's the end of round 2. Catch your breath, drink some water. Check in on you. And make sure you're not overworking, but you're giving yourself a challenge. Can't grow in the comfort zone. We've got to give ourselves a challenge in order to grow. And as your skill level increases, you're going to increase that challenge. Woo, still feeling the effects of altitude. It's rough out here at 8,000 feet. So I've got to accommodate, again, I've got to adjust to the fact that I have additional challenges here with less oxygen in the air. Really dialing my intensity. All right, final round coming up. This is going to be when you can go for it. Push hard if you haven't been challenging yourself yet. Make sure you're giving yourself the challenge that you deserve so that you can grow out here. And if you need a bonus round to get the high intensity out after this session, you can always spend more time, quality time with that heavy bag or other training tools that work for you. All right, final round. Guard high, maintain that guard. Start mixing in all those tools that we've learned over the last couple of days. You're well equipped already to keep a creative routine going. Boom. Boom. Work with the ones that you enjoy. Start working on that movement if you're advanced. Keeping the guard tight, working head movements, and keep firing. Give yourself that release. If you got the heavy back, proper techniques, proper form, roll those fists over, squeeze at the point of impact, and use the body, use the techniques to generate force. Work those body shots in there. Think about which moves link up. Which moves are easy to sync with that body shot, right? Step in for the jab, gets us pretty close. It's a good time to tuck in, drop that fist, and drive through the hip, exhaling on the strike. You can also sit here at close range, get your head right up against the bag, drop the fist, and this is a good just drill for high intensity workout, and just drill. You can fire like that at your own pace, work with the swing of the bag, kind of meet the bag as it comes back to you, giving you that feedback. And fire into that center mass. It feels good. Use proper technique. Use those other tools. Give yourself that routine that you enjoy. Work your way around the bag, keeping the defense tight. Add those body shots. Let's go. You can go for speed shots there. Work for you, let's go. Give yourself that challenge. If you want to work long range, sink, throw those liver shots, body shots, let's go. Remember, turn through the ankle. Work with the bag. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Got it in today. Woo! And you can see it doesn't take long to get a high intensity. Woo! High output workout in. Yeah, I gotta catch my breath. Holy moly. Altitude adjustment is no joke. Woo. You could do that all day back home. Woo. All right. Make sure, again, that you are challenging yourself to your skill level. Don't take it easy. Don't cheat yourself by taking it too easy and falling into boredom. It's going to prevent you from feeling the benefits, and it's going to make it less entertaining, less exciting, less fun, and it's going to ruin your consistency. So make sure you're giving yourself a challenge. That way you can continue to grow and you can see that progress, feel that progress, and have fun with it. That was a good one. That was enough work for a whole day, crammed in to just 9 minutes of exercise. And I only had the gloves on the bag for one round. That's 3 minutes, right? It doesn't take much to burn a ton of calories, get a full body workout, get a physical release that builds you up both physically and mentally. And just so you know, from a point of experience, you don't have to wait for the physical benefits. You don't have to wait for the fat loss or the muscle build to feel the mental health benefits. The mental health benefits are something you can feel right away, regardless of your fitness level, regardless of your skill level, as long as you're putting in the work and you're using that proper form and technique, you're gonna feel that physical release, that stress and anxiety come off your shoulders, out of your body. This is something that the animal kingdom already knew about for millions of years, and we're way, way far behind. If you look at a dog when it experiences fear, stress, or trauma, what does it do when it gets away from that fear, stress, or trauma? After the event, it shakes it off, right? You'll see the dog, woof, shake it off. If a dog got scared, a minute later, it'll physically shake. That's somatic healing. That's the end of that nervous system process that started with a trigger of fight or flight. That stress trigger, it starts in the nervous system, it has to end in the nervous system physically, same way that it started. And if we don't get it out physically, it stores in the body and it turns into mental illness. It turns into disease. In the animal kingdom, if they can't shake off the stress, if they can't get that somatic release, they die most of the time. We don't die, we just develop sicknesses. It turns into depression, it turns into anxiety, it turns into PTSD. We've got to fully process our emotions. We've got to fully process our trauma. And the physical aspect of that is a very important one. If it's not the bag for you, there are other outlets. Cycling, hitting the gym. There are other opportunities to process that trauma and stress. We all deal with stress, right? This is a healthy outlet. Find your healthy outlet. And if this is working for you, don't stop. I'll be here every single day to support your growth. Until next time, I'll catch you same exact time, same exact channel, same exact life. Sack man out. Woo!